Nick, fantastic rant that you had yesterday about the Giants as well. Good afternoon, brother. How are you?
Great to be on with you guys. The Jason Garrett-less New York Football Giants Football Wednesday here before Thanksgiving. How's it going?
Doing well.
Nick with a big grin on his face. Yes. What did you say that
start.
it was? What was it about the conservative game plan from Joe Judge?
I think the quote was Joe Judge sexually aroused by sending Graham Gano out and Riley Dixon out to kick the football, and then more conservative than Sean Hannity was, I think, what I went with there for Joe Judge. Just Solid. To start, like Giants fans, this ain't the end. This is just the beginning. This is one small battle won. Now Judge has got to go, Gettleman's got to go, and then we restock for next year.
All right, let's start with the Giants.
It's quite a to-do list.
And well, how about you know what? Let's start with Thanksgiving. Then we'll get to the Giants.
Okay.
Triple header tomorrow, Nick. Kind of dealer's choice when you're looking at attacking tomorrow from a handicapping perspective. How you doing it?
I like all three games. I can hit on all of them, or we can do one at a time, whatever you'd like.
Let's start with the early game, Lions and Bears.
Okay, so I have a strategy for how I want to play this game, and it's based on who the Lions are going to start at quarterback. We know Andy Dalton's going to start for Chicago. I love, by the way, that 2 years ago on Thanksgiving, it was Chase Daniel against David Bling Blau, and now we've got Andy Dalton maybe against Tim Boyle. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, for this game, if Tim Boyle is named the starting quarterback for the Lions, and Jared Goff practiced Monday and Tuesday in a limited fashion with his oblique injury, we'll see about what happens today. I'm sure we'll get an indication, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, as to who's going to start for Detroit. If it's Boyle and the number hits like 4 or 4.5, I'd consider betting Detroit. So I need like at least 4 to bet the Lions if it's Tim Boyle. If it's Jared Goff, if Goff's going to be the quarterback and the number is 3, I will bet the Lions +3 with Jared Goff as the quarterback, especially if Akeem Hicks doesn't play for Chicago. You know, Khalil Mack gets all the headlines. He's out for the season for Chicago. Akeem Hicks is in the middle of that defensive line. He's one of the best run stoppers in the league. And if he doesn't go, this is going to be open season for DeAndre Swift and the Lions running backs Jamal Williams and company. And you know Dan Campbell and the Lions want to run because they do it basically on every play. So if it's Goff +3, that's a bet for me. And if it's Goff and the number comes off 3, which is I think very likely if Goff's going to be the quarterback. So if it's Lions +2.5 come around kickoff tomorrow, here's how I want to play it. I want to take the Lions and I want to tease them with the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. I make the Dolphins-Panthers game a pick 'em. So if the Dolphins were 2-point favorites, I would want to tease Carolina. So it has nothing to do with me like loving Miami in the game. Just that I think like 2 games with low totals, teasing teams up through the key numbers of 3 and 7. So again, to summarize, if it's Goff and the number is below 3, tease the Lions with the Dolphins. If it's Goff, the number is 3, bet Detroit. If it's Boyle, it's got to be at least 4, 4.5 to bet the Lions. I would never bet Chicago at any of these numbers.
Okay, what about the next game, Dallas Raiders?
I bet the Raiders. So I bet Vegas +7. There are +7.5s available, so you can get an even better number now if you would like. Kind of like the fly in the ointment here. It looks like CeeDee Lamb is kind of trending towards playing, which is insane to me given the concussion that he suffered on Sunday. That is not confirmed yet, just reports saying that like he may end up clearing protocol and may end up playing in the game. And that obviously helps the Cowboys. But Dallas without Amari Cooper in this game, with Ezekiel Elliott not 100%, despite the fact that he is participating fully in practice. He's literally telling you he's not 100%. And for the Raiders, and I'm not looking to like retroactively go back and say like the Raiders should have won or should have kept the games closer against Kansas City and Cincinnati. But I think the fact is that variance has majorly gone against the Raiders in terms of 3rd and 4th down performance, both offensively and defensively. Now, it's not like, you know, people make mistakes at the roulette table, right? When it comes up red 4 times in a row and you see it, you sit down and go, well, it's got to be black now. Or it could be red the next 50 times it gets rolled because the sample size is infinity, right? So it's not like definitely, because it's gone against them 2 weeks in a row that the Raiders all of a sudden are going to be dynamite on 3rd down and offensively and dynamite defensively. But I do think we'll see some regression here positively for the Raiders here. And I can't get to 7 or 7.5. So I bet the Raiders 7 or better coming up tomorrow on the road in Dallas.
All right, Nick, how about the night game? Bills and Saints with the Bills laying 6 on the road.
Now, here's a piece of information that's useful to nobody except for me, but allows me an opportunity to plug my show, which is You Better You Bet, weekdays 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on like a million different places, including YouTube and Twitch, Odyssey stations nationwide, because we talked about Bills -4.5 on Monday. I made the game 7. It's currently hanging out like somewhere 6, 6.5, somewhere in that range with Buffalo. I would never bet New Orleans. It's just a question of like you, the listener, like if you want to lay 6, 6.5, like if I did not have a position on the game and I wanted to bet it, I would bet Buffalo. I don't think it's like the greatest bet to make, but I don't think you can ever bet the Saints here. Potentially without both starting offensive tackles again, and Terran Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk. Kamara looks like he's unlikely to go. Not confirmed yet, and that would obviously change it a little bit if Kamara is going to play. Ingram looks like he's unlikely to play. They just have no good players on offense right now. It's going to be tough sledding against this Bills defense. And conversely here, I think this is a big spot for Josh Allen and the Bills offense under the dome here to get majorly back on track. And I love Stephon Diggs, just player prop wise, against Marshawn Lattimore. Lattimore's a really good number one corner. We see him have success against bigger physical types like Mike Evans, for example, here. Diggs is going to absolutely cook him. And Diggs is averaging 9 targets per game over his last 5. Diggs, you can get under 80 yards for receiving prop at Play Sugar House. So like that quite a bit. So Bills or nothing for me. Yeah, the number that I would look to target is 5.5, like under 6 for Buffalo. It's up to you, the listener, to decide if you want to stomach a bet 6.5. But again, I would never bet New Orleans.
Okay, Nick Kostos is our guest. Let's take it local here. Giants, so obviously we know you're a huge Giant fan. No Jason Garrett, but you said that's just the tip of the iceberg. But he is going to be, he is gone for the rest of the season. What do you like about this game against Philadelphia, if anything, from a betting perspective?
I meant it seriously when I sent that audio into your guy Pete Hoffman yesterday, that I want the Giants to lose every game the rest of the season. And I think that makes me a real fan. I think it makes me a bigger fan than fans that just like are tribalists and just want their team to win no matter what, no matter how stupid the organization is. That's how big a fan I am. I want my team to lose because that's for the betterment of the franchise. So
Nick Kostos, number one fan, lose the rest of the season. That's what I said to Jets fans last year. You want them to win, you're crazy.
Yeah, did you feel good about them winning that game in Los Angeles against the Rams, and now you have Zach Wilson instead of Trevor Lawrence? We'll get to the Jets in a second here, but here's where I run into a problem. I have to bet the Giants on Sunday. Like, the number is insane. Like, a team being a 3.5 point road favorite like indicates like one team is really good and one team is potentially very bad. Unless we're talking like Tampa and Indy, Tampa being the best team in football, we can talk about that game. Like, this number can't be 3.5. The Eagles played Detroit like a month ago in the Motor City, and that number was 3.5. And I think we'll get a bit of a dead cat bounce. Which I think is a really appropriate term for many different reasons, from the Giants offense here with Freddie Kitchens calling the plays. So it is just an extraordinarily easy bet to make, Giants plus 3.5. And it is my sincere hope and wish. If I could get one thing for Thanksgiving that I could be grateful for, it would be an Eagles win by 1, 2, or 3 points in heart-wrenching fashion. Giants lose, but still manage to cover the spread would really make my holiday week.
Well, gut-wrenching losses against the Eagles is something that you guys specialize in.
That's true.
How about Jets and Texans with Wilson back at quarterback, Nick?
Give me the Jets to win the game, baby. Like, maybe we'll do a little New York parlay action. Maybe not both money lines here. I think the Giants may lose the game, but I think the Jets are going to win. Like, how can Texans 2.5? Like, Texans are terrible. Like, good on them, man. We bet the Texans last week against the Titans. I'm willing to bet that was more of a one-off performance here. I think Zach Wilson coming back lends a little bit more volatility to this game. Like, I would have loved, honestly, if Flacco had played. I would have felt really good about Jets plus 2.5 or plus 3. But with Wilson, I think like the ceiling is raised. Now the floor is lowered also. Jets could lose this game by 17 points with Wilson. He could throw 4 picks. I'm willing to bet that Wilson comes out, plays within himself, runs the offense. Like when we were growing up, we would say, like Mike, we want to be like Mike. Maybe not me, because I hated Michael Jordan as a Knicks fan. Zach Wilson's been saying that for a couple of weeks now. And you know who he's talking about? Mike White. Checking the football down, playing conservatively. If he does that, the Jets are going to win the game because the Jets are better. Give me the Jets on the money line on Sunday to beat the Houston Texans. Little New York against the spread parlay action coming up.
Love it. Nick Kostos is our guest, joining us here before we have the Thanksgiving holiday. You mentioned about the Bucs and Colts. What did you like about that game?
Easiest bet of the week to make. Tampa Bay minus 2.5 yesterday. Tampa's a 3-point favorite now. Don't care. Number should be like 5. Just how could this number ever be 3? Tampa's the best team in the league. I get the Colts are really good. I came on your show last week. I picked the Colts, maybe not necessarily to win by 26, but certainly to keep it close against Buffalo. So I like Indy. I think Indy's good. Should Indy be 3 against Tampa? Tampa's the best team in football, period, in my opinion. So I think this is a major discount. I think Brady's going to carve up the Eberflus defense. Jonathan Taylor's been great. Now he's going to have to deal with the returning Vita Vea, who the Giants, for some reason, did not try and test by running the football on Monday night because they're dumb. So I think Vita Vea is going to slow down Jonathan Taylor. Brady has a big game. Bucs minus 3. They could end up losing the game, not covering the spread. Always offer that caveat, just that it's a really easy bet to make on Tampa.
All right, Nick, is there anything else looking ahead to Sunday that you absolutely love?
Oh, man, I like a lot this weekend. The last week I came on, I was like,
Nick
I don't
is
really
like
that
giddy.
much.
I know.
You're
Well,
giddy
it's
right
Thanksgiving.
now.
Well, give us one or two, Nick. Your top. You mentioned that you like the Bucs. You talked about the Giants. You like the Jets outright Sunday. Give us another couple.
Okay, if Miami ever hits 3 as a 3-point home underdog against Carolina, that's an instant play. I made the game a pick. Same way that if Miami were -3, I would bet Carolina, but we're trending towards Carolina, maybe -3. So if that happens, I bet Miami. Let's see what else we got here. Atlanta, extremely easy bet to make. -1 against Jacksonville. Atlanta should be a 3-point favorite in that game. Love the Falcons on Sunday in Jacksonville. Really easy bet to make. I like the Rams against the Packers, but I want to wait to make the bet. We talk sometimes about people are like, oh, well, sports books lay traps for people. It's like, or sports books put out really stupid numbers a lot of the time. And smart people with money tell the sports books, you're wrong. Here's what the number should be. Sports books put out Packers -2.5 on last Sunday against the Rams. Now the number's a pick. I made the Rams a 2-point favorite in the game. Now we need to wait to make sure that Matthew Stafford is going to get through practice healthy. This is anecdotal for me. In his career with the Lions, generally substandard performances consecutively from him have preceded a trip, to missing a couple weeks, right, with an injury here. So coming off the bye, ostensibly should be healthy. I want to see a clean injury report for Stafford. I want practice reports, throwing the football with velocity. If I get that, I'm going to bet the Rams to beat the Packers on Sunday. Again, I make the game Rams -2, a 2-point favorite on the road at Lambeau. Sunday Night Football, I like the Browns. I bet them +4.5 on Monday. Number's 3.5 now. I still like them at that number, not as much, obviously, but I would never bet the Ravens at this number. I think the Browns and Baker are sitting on a big performance on Sunday night. And then Monday Night Football, Seattle about to pick them on the road in Washington. People are split on this game in like the sports betting community because basically it's like a guess, right, as to what you're going to get from Russell Wilson. He's been brutal the last 2 games coming off the finger injury. I think he's going to nuke this Washington defense. I love Seattle. You're going to give me a pick? I'd bet Seattle, honestly, up to Seattle -2.5. I make Seattle a 3.5-point road favorite. Love the Seahawks on Monday Night Football.
And be listening at 8:30 to 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. Kostos will be with you. You better you bet right here on the fan. We'll have all the player props as well for the entire Sunday slate. Nick, when are you eating Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Probably, I don't know, maybe like at after the first game, maybe after Bears Lions. I don't know.
Like 3:30, 4 o'clock?
So. Well, it's really like whenever I take orders from the women in my family. So it's like whenever, my girlfriend, my mom,
can I ask you, 8:30 tomorrow night, are you having leftovers or are you sitting down for Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh, leftovers at that point. For sure. And I'm watching the Bills-Saints game, much to the chagrin, again, of the aforementioned women in my family who will not be happy with.
Hey, come to our house. The women in our house love watching the Bills.
Absolutely love that. Yeah, and I'm going to be stuffing my face with coconut custard pie, hopefully while the Bills are running it up on the Saints tomorrow night and I'm winning some money. That would be great.
Now, the Grays eat at 8:30 tomorrow night. They're going to be sitting down, just beginning Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow night. So,
yeah, that's a little strange. It's not like Christmas.
I agree. Yeah, that's what I said. It's the first I've ever heard of it. Like everyone else eats earlier in the day. Maggie goes, "Is that odd?" I go, "Yeah, I think you're the only person I've ever heard that."
I don't know if it's wrong. I think it's fine.
It's just
there's no
odd.
rule. Yeah, it's a little. I feel like Thanksgiving is like a midday thing, and then you eat throughout the entire day. Like that's eating leftovers at night. I think that's generally how it's worked for me, at least. I don't know.
I know. I guess I'm like the outlier here. I'm a home dog in this one. It's just like I don't love my chances. But
I think turkey sucks too. I don't know if that's like a hot
Nick,
take.
I have a question for you. So you talk really fast, right? Like you're just giving us tons of info. Do you eat really fast?
No, actually.
That's funny.
I don't.
See, I thought you would have been like, in The Simpsons, whenever they eat and they're just like scarfing the food down. I would have thought that's you.
Well, I try. I'm almost 40, so I'm 38. Yeah. I try to be very self-aware. I'm nuts. Not like nuts on the actual insane scale. I'm not actually insane, but as far as normal people nuts goes, I'm pretty out there.
You're pushing the envelope.
So yeah, very much so. And people will say to me wow, that's so great. It must be great for your career. And I'm like, yeah. And then I hang up the phone and I'm still like this. This is how I'm and my moose knows he's known me for 20 years. I'm like this off the air too.
You know what I think about Nick all the time? Here's what I think about. So Kostos is working
hang up the phone and I'm still like
Kostos
this.
Kostos is working at Sirius at the time. True. I'm working at SNY. This is the Ravens run when they eventually beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
I had them every game. It was great.
I understand. So this goes along with that story. So I parked my car. I'm walking to SNY.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I hear is this. Moose! I'm wacko for Flacco! And I look up, and there's Kostos. He goes, I'm wacko for Flacco, man. They're winning this week. I'm telling you, this is the year.
There was no preamble. I wasn't like, Moose, good to see you. By the way,
you
I'm
just
Wacko
yelled
for
it
Joe
out to
Flacco.
grab my attention. Then we had a conversation, and that's what I always remember. All I think about when I think about the Ravens run, I think about Kostos yelling yelling at me, Wacko for Flacco on the Ravens run.
Wow. You should have trademarked that one.
Right. So I try to anyway. I try to, like, in my off time, I try and slow down as best I can and be like mindful and be a little like, be a little zen when I can, because I'm not like that normally. But I try my best as I get a little older.
Well, enjoy Thanksgiving tomorrow, Nick. Have a good show with Kenny this afternoon. We'll be listening on Sunday, and thanks again, brother.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you guys, to your families, to all the listeners out there and your families as well. Hope it's a great one for everyone, and wishing everyone, of course, as well, minimal sweats, winning bets, the absolute very best of luck.
Host of
Joe Judge.
Host of You Better You Bet.